Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who is made with 100% more plastic, Bill.
Hi, everybody. More plastic every day.
So, how long ago was it that Hasbro made this declaration that they were getting rid of plastic in their packaging? Was it a full year ago?
It's been at least a full year plus a few months, I would say.
I remember the first, when they rolled this out, there was the Spider-Man Homecoming set with Peter and Ned. There was that Venom set that you were showing off last week that you got the bootleg of, apparently, according to somebody.
Bootlegged. I don't know.
According to somebody
running change.
TikTok.
I have no clue.
I
have no clue.
His fingers
the fingers
are a different color. Should be white, but
they should be white like his skin.
Gray.
I have no clue. I don't know.
Either a rare variant or a complete knockoff.
The Bill variant.
So anyways, a year in, and Hasbro's like, Uncle, we give up. Tap out. Can't.
Yes.
People,
Sorry.
We need to start selling toys again. People aren't digging this. So they sent out, Hasbro did a press release. I don't see this on Hasbro Pulse on their Instagram, but they sent this out and people posted it. And obviously people are like, is this April Fool's? Because it's just,
sure.
It's just text. It could be anything. I'm going to read you what it says. It says, the subject line, Hasbro Sustainability Packaging Update. And then it has hi, and then the name of the person. It says, we wanted to share an update on packaging for Hasbro 6-inch scale figures. Based on your feedback, we will be reintroducing windows and blisters to our 6-inch fan figures beginning later this year into 2024 for select products across our portfolio of brands, including G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, Star Wars, and Marvel Legends. This will eventually expand to all new 6-inch figure releases. The new windows and blisters will be made from our bio PET or recycled PET, helping us achieve our priority of meeting our fans' expectations for extraordinary packaging and superior design while still developing packaging that minimizes waste and use of virgin plastic.
Oh.
Thank you again for being one of our biggest fans and your continued support of Hasbro. So basically, people stopped buying the product because they couldn't see it.
Can't see it. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on.
Who knows?
What the hell?
Schrodinger's toy. I don't know what's in there. Could be anything.
It might be an ugly ass action figure. I don't know.
It could be. Yeah. Best case scenario, it's an ugly ass action figure.
Best case scenario, it's the right action figure in the first place.
But he's ugly. So.
Oh, he is ugly.
That is
true.
best case scenario.
Damn ugly.
Even if you order from Amazon does this thing where if someone returns something, they just ship it back out, and
they do.
You don't know what you're getting. It's actually like, if you don't get it first thing from Amazon, it seems like even your odds are worse of getting the right product because it's more likely to return.
Exactly. Well, I showed you that Bantha that was on clearance, and I actually got one from the warehouse deal.
The Pop?
With the warehouse sticker. The Pop, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it said, thank you for giving this product a second chance. I was like, yes, you're right. I adopted this.
That wasn't my intention. This is a charity here. I want the actual product. I'm not looking for any second chances. Yikes. So this is good news for collectors, bad news for the planet. But come on. I mean, planet, you had your time in the sun, literally.
Oh, sure.
It's time for darkness to reign, okay?
Yes,
we need our plastic.
Have our plastic.
Just let us have this little thing. We want to be able to see what we're collecting. At least if we're spending $30 per figure, let us see the damn thing. God, come on. Gosh.
My son and I unboxed. I know. My son and I unboxed the Jazzwares Republic gunship tonight. I picked it up for $10.
Oh yeah, I saw
at
that
Target the other day.
Yeah,
so $10. It was great. It was worth every penny. Mm-hmm. How much plastic that thing was encased in?
Yeah, Jazzwares don't care.
They don't care. They're like,
Jazzwares,
Captain Who?
or is it
Planet?
Jax? Who does that? I think it's Jazzwares.
It's Jazzwares.
Jeremy's doing that. Yeah.
Yes. So excellent toy, but enshrined in plastic.
Well, it's like the Zuru thing. It's like it's Zuru is the equivalent of getting a Big Mac back in the day. How many layers of styrofoam and paper and plastic did you have to make your way through to get to the gooey center, if you will. But I think we can all agree that this is a good thing in terms of collecting. It was this will be remembered as the dark ages of toy collecting,
right?
Where even if you have toys that are unopened, quote unquote, from this period, years into the future, I'm not going to trust it. Like, I don't know how these toys will be treated. Like, who knows what is in there? Like, sure, the tape is intact, but was it peeled away and something else put in there? We don't know. There's no way to know until you open it. So
I mean, I had my concerns with that Venom pack because of the double tape, and then sure enough, potential bootleg. Potential. I don't know.
Knockoff. Yeah, we don't know. We'll never know.
We don't know.
We need to investigate.
It's all right.
It's too good of a deal. It's too good of a deal. I told you, but it's worth it. Sometimes, I mean, not that we want to support these bootlegs. We don't support bootlegs officially, but sometimes toys are expensive. You know, I don't know. I don't think I've thought about it because they do it a lot with the NECA. I think they did it with like, I forget, I don't know if it was SH Fig Arts, those turtles, like the Nick turtles back in the day. But I really wanted those, but I wasn't gonna pay like upwards of $100 per turtle. Like, no.
Yeah.
So I considered it. Like on Wish, they always have like,
oh sure.
So, I don't know, is Wish still a thing? I feel like they got replaced. I haven't been on Wish in forever.
I don't know. I think Wish just is like a passing comment, like it's a joke.
I feel like Wish, if they're going to ban TikTok, they need to ban Wish because Wish is literally China sending things to America. I'm like, who knows what's in there? If you're worried about TikTok, you need to be worried about a Wish.
Right.
So do you think that the toys that were released in this year will get a second chance? Will they be re-released? Does Hasbro see this as, we're going to put these toys back out, double dip, maybe?
Do you really think they would do that?
Well, I don't know.
Think they would go that far.
I think that would be a way. Well, like that Venom set, like people really like that. Yeah. Like the Peter Parker set I mentioned. Like, I think that there would be a market for re-releasing those. Maybe in limited quantities, but Hasbro has nothing to lose. They already made the molds. Why not make a little more money off of them?
Sure. I mean, they could do it. They could do it for Hasbro Pulse exclusives potentially. You never know. It might not be a retail line. It could just be on Amazon or something like that, or Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store, something like that.
It'll be interesting to see. I feel really bad for this Dungeons and Dragons line because it existed. It existed entirely within this dark age, and it'll just it went the cartoon figures went to clearance, and the movie figures, I don't know. At least from what I see, they're hanging around. They're not selling it. And the movie's out. The movie did well enough. It got good reception. Didn't move the toys. So
no.
They announced some
I don't think
larger
Dungeons and Dragons
figures.
They did.
They look
did.
Cool,
I don't think Dungeons and Dragons works as like an action figure line because it already has its own dedicated, I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. It's sort of like doing video game toys, but not. It's just like it already exists in this medium. They're not necessarily a fan base for it as toys, other than what it already exists as. But that's fine. Hasbro was obviously the company that took the lead on the plastic-free packaging. Did we see this from other companies? Was Mattel dipping their toe into plastic-free?
Mattel went the route of open packaging.
For what?
So you see it with Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
Okay.
The Pixar line, it was all open
twist
case,
tie,
elastic, either twist tie or elastic,
or like a
enclosures,
piece of string.
Right.
No plastic. It was Okay. So,
who else was doing it? Well, you see the biggest issue was that LeBron had TikTok thing that was going around.
Right. So the toys were getting.
Yeah, they're getting damaged, and we're still seeing it. We're still seeing it with the Into the Spider-Verse stuff. People ripping the heads off those figures.
Right. It's just not. It's just really tempting fate to put figures out there that you can. Because it's not like people are stealing these to be like, oh, I have this now. It's like I just want. It's just like you can't tempt people with an easy crime.
No,
like
you cannot.
It's like if somebody finds a wallet on the ground. Are they going to turn it in, or are they going to take it home with them? 50 people cross that wallet. One of them is probably going to take the wallet. A lot of people pass by these toys. So this era has passed us by. Maybe we'll do like and in memoriam
of
the toys.
Retrospective.
Yeah, that like the unfortunate toys that had to be produced during this period that'll remain Schrodinger's toy. We don't really know if these toys exist.
Well, we're gonna continue with this until there is a cutoff at some point. Correct?
There are still some coming out. Yeah, because
there will be some.
I think. Well, okay. So there are some lines where it really hurts because there was commonality in the packaging. If you think of Power Rangers Lightning Collection, we got through a lot of series, and they all had that unique look, the boxes. And then they just switched it off. And now if you were collecting all of them with that nice helmet artwork on the side, and it just looked very uniform, and then all of a sudden you'd switch to plastic free, and they completely changed what the packaging looked like. So that sucks. So they're going to have to decide what the new packaging looks like. The other thing I think was hurting the toys was they didn't even get a picture of the actual toy in the box. It was just the render.
Correct.
And that sometimes didn't even look like the final product.
Right. And then you'd find that there would be the pins and like the knee and elbow joints, and
so the
renders would not have exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't have it.
So there were a lot of problems. It was a Hasbro. Any company that does something, they try to spin it in such a way that we were trying to be conscious of the environment. This was good, but no, it was about money. At the end of the day,
how about the inserts? What do you think about that? Do you think they'll create a PET plastic for the insert, or do you think they'll go the route of rubber bands
to hold the accessories and the figure in place?
Yeah, exactly.
So I heard somebody say that they hope they don't do that with the accessories because they hate having to pop them out of the tray.
Yeah,
I don't really care, but I want everything to be visible in the packaging, so I guess it needs to be in the tray again, unless you want.
My biggest fear was always lightsabers.
In the tray, because you would have to
accidentally like bending the lightsaber,
because it goes up through a hole in the plastic, and you would have to like, push it down. Yeah, getting a figure out of the tray is the noisiest experience. Like if you tried to open a figure while you were watching TV with someone, they would be so annoying. Yeah. It's just
if you sneak a soda into the movies, and you're like, I need the perfect time to crack this can of soda open. And as loud as the movie gets, you're still like, it's like, damn it.
Or it's trying to like open a cake from the grocery store. It has like all the little clips around it, and it's like you can never sneak it. It's always they're gonna find out you're trying to eat cake.
What are you doing down there?
Nothing. So yeah. So to summarize, Hasbro is turning your pets into plastic and using it to make your toys. I think that's the takeaway here. Yeah, but we're happy about it. We're happy for it. I'll volunteer my dog. Don't worry about it.
Don't recycle your pets. Just throw them out.
Get your pets spayed or turned into plastic, says Bob Barker, who's apparently alive. Did you know that? He's still alive.
I didn't know that.
Isn't that crazy? He's alive.
I honestly thought they were just gradually transforming Drew Carey into Bob Barker.
Well, I think that's what happens. Something about that set naturally turns you in. To the mold of Bob Barker. I don't know. It's true, though. So last week I had the opportunity to talk with Steve Ozer from Mattel. That interview is up on our YouTube channel and our podcast channel. Look for that. We talked about the Mattel Creations Ultimate Edition Monday Nitro Arena, which has until May 6th that you can back it. Is currently at 40%, which means that it did not reach its first goal, which is an early bird goal. So even if this does get funded, we are not going to get the Hulk Hogan figure, which is a blow. I'm not going to pretend it's not. It's not a good thing anytime you lose a figure. Because I was trying to think, has there been a Kickstarter crowdfunding project from any company that didn't reach the early bird goal but still got funded?
Well, that's a good question. I can't think of any.
The only one I can think of that had the early bird that didn't get funded was the Ghost Rider, because that pretty much it lost backers once it didn't get funded for the early bird. People were
early bird funding, it's pretty new in terms of this crowdfunding Kickstarter stuff.
We had the Eternia playset they did, and that worked well for them because that got funded immediately. But then people stopped. It's like everyone who wanted to fund it funded it to get the early bird, and then it didn't reach all of the tiers, but it got a couple more tiers.
It did. That last tier was kind of like a garbage tier anyway. It wasn't really.
Well, I think they character. This is the thing. This is the trick with the early bird figure. You need a figure that is good enough that people care about it, but not so good that if you don't get it, people completely abandon the project.
Sure.
So in that sense, I think that the Hogan figure was a good choice because Hogan's a figure that we have a lot, or he's a character we have a lot of figures of. And this look is not a look that, like, pre-NWO WCW Hogan is probably not anybody's favorite version of Hogan. And we actually have figures that look similar enough. I think even one of the heads that they're including is a head we already have. So this figure was not super enticing. If you listen to my interview with Steve, he alludes to the fact that there was going to be accessories included that would have transformed this figure into another Hogan, but it didn't. It didn't get approved. And I said, "Oh, is it the Pastamania Hogan?" And he was like, "I can't confirm or deny." So take from that what you will. So the idea that he was maybe going to include the chef hat, a bowl of pasta. If you're familiar with Pastamania, it's a chain of pasta restaurants endorsed by Hulk Hogan during that period where he was in WCW. Like in Mall of America, they had one, which is where they held that famous Nitro. So we're not going to get that Hogan, which, like I said, I still think it's possible that this gets funded without Hogan. We're at 40%. We have about a month to go. Okay. But here's the issue. If this only gets funded at the 5,000 level, you're only getting the stage and Rey Mysterio. And I think a lot of people would be like, no, that's not enough, and probably cancel. And I don't know what happens then. If this gets to 5,001 backers and then 2 people cancel, does it still get funded after the fact? Like, I'm not sure the mechanics of that. But here's what I think they needed to do. It needed to come with at least 2 figures from the get, and they needed to be figures that people really wanted. Now, there have been plenty of Rey Mysterios. This is not the most... I mean, I don't know if there's one iconic Rey Mysterio look, because every time you see him, he looks like something else. So I don't think Rey Mysterio was a good first figure. It should have been DDP. It should have been Scott Steiner. And they should have... Because if you can get those 2 figures and the stage, I think that's enough for people to be satisfied. And then, we want more figures than that, obviously. But if you could get at least those 2 figures, I would have felt comfortable backing it right away. So it's going to be a learning process. We'll see what happens. But it was great that Steve came on and talked to us about that. And I got to talk about the Superstars line, which is my favorite. And it's good to hear that it's doing well. It's really hard to tell with these Mattel WWE lines if they're doing well, because Walmart distribution is so wacky. It's like sometimes you see a lot of them, sometimes you don't. So it's good to hear that line's doing well. We can get some more of those.
Are those the ones that came off the heels of the Masterverse line?
Right. So the first thing they did is they did Masters of the WD. The first thing they did was Masters of the WWE Universe, and which is like, that name just sort of made it was like a clever name. Someone's probably like, oh, let's do this. And then they did that. So they used the new retro bodies that they created that are like the He-Man bodies, but with more modern articulation. And then they dressed them up like people from Eternia. And that line did fine. Steve was saying that he wanted it to go longer, but these are based on those, which are based on the Remco figures, which just ripped off the He-Man bodies back in the day. So these are sort of an homage to those. But I don't know. I don't care about any of that. These are just like really fun, and they have the soft goods, and like there's a $1 Million Man, and the soft goods suit is like a little oversized, so he looks a little goofy, but it's fun. And the heads are brand new sculpts, and they're just that perfect combination of realistic but then cartoony. So whoever is designing the heads is really selling this line, because that is just the best.
Do you open them, or do you keep them packaged?
So I keep them packaged, and then I either through like getting doubles by accident or getting doubles because one came all messed up from Walmart.com and they had to send me another one. I've opened a few of them, but the packaging is beautiful. It has custom artwork per figure, has their design in vector art. Looks very nice.
It's very flimsy though, right? That's the other thing.
It is not the most sturdy of packaging. Yeah, it is. You got to be careful. But the cool thing is, if you can find them before somebody puts them on a peg and knocks out that little, you can find them uncut. Yeah.
Yeah, that is exciting. Usually they show up, they have them in shippers.
Right.
I've seen, and then they just leave them there. But yeah, it's one of those issues where just like the cards are kind of, I picked these up and it's just like the cards are all over the place.
Terrible, yeah.
So I got a set off Hasbro Pulse and then I got a set off Amazon, and I was like, I'll just compare both sets. So I've got an open set and a in-box set, but yeah, it's like...
That's the one you kept in box?
Oh, no, I just haven't even opened it
yet. Okay, I was like, that is damn, that is not...
No.
So this, I guess, is a good segue to talk about the reveals today. It's Star Wars Celebration, which really snuck up on me. Usually, or not usually, but sometimes it's in Orlando. So I probably would have heard about that. But this year, it was in the United Kingdom, jolly old England. And does this happen every year? Is there a Star Wars Celebration every year?
There is. Okay. Obviously, coming out of COVID, I think they did it last year, and it was in California.
Okay, yeah.
I know at some point it was like in Chicago. It might have been in New York once, and then recently, obviously, it's been in Florida, and then this is the first one that's been across the seas over in.
How do you get to go to this? Is it just like a Comic-Con where you just buy a ticket?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a Comic-Con. Yeah, you're a fan.
Because there was like that Disney convention where you had to like be a pass holder or you had to be part of that Club 23 or something.
Yeah, no, this is for everybody that loves Star Wars.
I saw the photos. It looked like it was literally everybody. It was very packed in there.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, so it's like I'm big with my fandom, but like I'm not a big fan of like standing in a crowd and hearing people woo and
my
like
God.
cheer.
Yeah.
It's like my least favorite thing. So like I like to be a fan, but at the same time I don't like getting all charged up and seeing like a reveal and seeing someone walk across the stage and watching other people cry in front of me.
Especially not in the age of the internet where we see the clip moments later. Somebody's live streaming it. And you probably see it because they can zoom in on their camera. You see it better. Yeah, there's a leak.
Well, that's the worst part. I can't watch those camera footage thing. I'd rather, if it comes up, I'd rather watch it on YouTube and not watch it on someone's phone
live
and just hear all the woos. I can't.
You just don't like woos. You don't like people talking during the media.
I don't like. It's like I don't like hearing grown men like go yeah woo because it always sounds so like a woo is like a if you're good at it, you're good at it, and some of them are just like that's a really weak woo.
Yeah, I can't woo. I can't do like the Ric Flair woo. I don't have my vocal cords don't allow that sort of manipulation. Yeah.
I think that's where it lands with me mostly is just like I know you're enthusiastic about it, but man, your woo just doesn't
it's not up to snuff.
Cut it.
Don't participate in the wooing unless you can really woo. You got to work on your woo.
God.
So
like
there were
they have on Curb.
What? Curb Your Enthusiasm?
It's like a problem like Larry David would have on Curb.
He would turn around be like, what are you doing?
Hey, you're no good at that.
Why are you doing that? What's with the woo? It's terrible. They had a metric ton of because it's in England, so you could do a metric system. Metric ton of reveals. Probably, I will say the biggest reveals were the directors for some live action feature films coming out, including one that takes place way in the past. Was it 25,000 years before the Jedi or something silly like that?
Right. So like the discovery of the Force, and this one's helmed by James Mangold.
Like this is really gonna mess up canon.
What are they? Are they like mutants? It's like, oh, I've discovered I have a power, and it's like, oh, this is just X-Men.
Well, I would love to see what civilization looks like. Have we advanced 25,000 years worth of evolution in Star Wars? Because when in episode, well, I don't know. So I was gonna say in episode 4, it seems pretty like low tech, but that's just because we see in the prequels they actually do have better technology. It just sort of didn't reach Tatooine. That I'm not super excited about that yet. We'll see. It's just like too obscure, it's too. It could be anything. Like there's nothing to hold on to.
It could be. There could be no technology. They could be fighting with sticks. I mean, for God's sakes.
That would be fine. I would actually be fine with that. Yeah. Then we're going to see a Dave Filoni helmed Mandalorian movie.
The conclusion of the Mandalorian.
So the Mandalorian has an ending. It has an ending.
Yes.
Which is interesting. After this week, I think people are okay with that.
Really?
After this, I've heard a lot of people being like, what happened? We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. And then it has to be the biggest news. Yes. Episode 10, Rey. I mean, it is because Rey is back and she's restarting the Jedi Order to fight off she's restarting to fight another Death Star. We can only assume.
Oh, of course, yes.
So
somehow Palpatine survived.
Somehow he's back again. That mother effer. So people obviously are going to feel a lot of different ways about this. I am good with this. I think, first of all, I am all for redemption. And I think that through no fault of her own, the Rey character did not get her proper conclusion in what was that last one called? Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
Because Carrie Fisher passed away in real life, they had to use footage that existed between her and Rey. They had to keep Rey's outfit the same. She, I think, just was not allowed to do the character was not allowed to do much outside of what they already had. I think Daisy Ridley is like a very, very, I think she's like a nice person. I don't know. I think it's nice. She's a good addition.
Very wholesome actor.
Yeah, I think she's just a good addition to this world. She's a good ambassador for it. Unlike some of the other actors who have come out and said, like, I hate the Star Wars. I don't want anything to do with this. Like, she has not said anything. Like, she's been a good soldier for Disney, so I think they're rewarding that. And I sort of enjoy the fact that people don't like her, like her characters, and that's just sort of, it's like, oh, here's some more of her. Would you like some more? Here's some more.
But Star Wars, it's like the hate no matter what. So it's okay.
There's gonna be something to be mad at.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's important that the world continues and it doesn't end at Rise of Skywalker. Like, there could be more. Now, they killed off Kylo Ren. Was that an oops moment? Should they have kept him alive?
Much to the chagrin of my wife. My wife is hoping that there's some sort of resurrection of Kylo Ren.
Wow.
And she's starting to dive deep into, like, the old Rebels World Between Worlds, and that somehow Rey's going to pull him out.
She's doing she's doing the math and she's going to send it.
Yeah.
Look, you could do it. There's precedent for this.
Yeah, it exists. Let's do it.
All the equations are flying around her head. All the equations.
Yeah. Get him back.
Well, you have to wonder, because obviously if they wanted to, they could. I don't think anyone would be like, no. I think they'd be like, all right, that's fine. Zombie Kylo Ren. So the question is, do they want to go down that route?
Right.
Would the actor be on board with that? There's a lot of ifs.
Sure.
We don't know that this movie is going to happen. They've announced a lot of movies.
I was
the
telling
Patty
my wife
Jenkins
this
movie
tonight.
Didn't happen.
Yes, didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
What was the other one?
I mean, originally there was a Boba Fett movie supposed to come out.
What's going on with the Lando show? If there's a Lando show
right?
still.
Yeah, is there going to be a?
What was the one that the Gina Carano one's done?
Well, that was going to be the TV series. That now has been folded into Mandalorian for those. Yeah, side
but I was
quests.
telling my wife the same thing. I was like, literally, there has been at least they slated this out with like 15 properties, and so far they've kind of whittled out like 5 of them that aren't happening.
At the last celebration,
now you got more.
It would be interesting to compare what was announced at each celebration and which have faded into obscurity. So we don't know that this is going to happen, but you do think that and then we got Bob Iger back in control of Disney. So that I think that says a lot too. It's like he oversaw the last trilogy and he's going to move these forward too. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Are you on board with a storyline where they bring the Jedi back? Is that interesting enough? Oh, this is actually, do you think, this is the $1 million question, do you think that Grogu plays a part in episode 10? Is he going to be part of this new... Right?
At this point, he's going to be like, what? He'll be 100, right?
He will be... So, I think somebody did the math. He was going to be like 10 years younger than when Yoda started training people.
Okay.
So, yeah,
he'll be able to talk.
It all adds up. I mean, they were very specific about this takes place 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. Right. And it's like, why have that time frame so narrowed down if not for a reason? And that could be the reason. I don't know.
Teenage Grogu.
Well, that's the problem, because we saw it with teenage Groot and it was not great. Not great.
Yeah, he was so angsty.
So this Grogu,
who knows? Is he going to be a Mandalorian? What is he?
Well, that's the thing.
Is he a Mandalorian at this point?
Right.
Or is he...
Yeah, that's the thing.
What is he?
Is he singing on tour with Lizzo? We don't know.
Oh, I would hope.
All right, let's talk about The Mandalorian, because you love this episode. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun.
Okay.
I've just sort of accepted that this season is whatever it's going to be. I'm not trying to pigeonhole it into being like last year. Because last season, The Mandalorian was something special, because it gave us that finale with Luke. All of these points.
All the feels.
Everything. Yeah. This season is just more sort of like side adventures, and we're just taking a trip around the universe and seeing who we're bumping into. Space cops.
There's really no worry with Grogu. He's fine every episode.
Fine. He's just hanging out. He's working on his Mando skills. I feel like if you're training to be a Mandalorian, but you're already a Jedi, I feel like it's going to be okay. I think you're going to be able to be okay.
You'll make it. You'll
be fine, kid. Yeah.
You're going to fly across the room just one way or the other.
Flipping everywhere, yeah.
Flipping for fish. Okay, so I like to watch. So I get up early every Wednesday to watch these before I go to work. They usually come on Disney Plus at 3 a.m. Eastern, so I'm up usually at like 4 to watch them. So I missed this window. I slept in and went right to work. Mm-hmm. And that's a big mistake, because obviously with social media, you're just like, you have to stay off of it all day
TikTok
long until you can get in front of the screen. So at one point, I think I was just going through a Facebook feed, not even realizing that I had missed The Mandalorian. And I saw a screen grab of Jack Black and Lizzo. And I was like, what is this? And immediately I was like,
what is this?
Like, so Star Wars works best when it's not familiar. Like, characters aren't familiar. Like
the actors playing them?
Big name actors, correct.
Right.
So you're like, because, there's that separation. You're like, oh, wait, who is...
It's like, is this
Daisy
the Christmas
Ridley?
special?
Who is Mark Hamill?
They brought out the stars for the Christmas special,
Right. So I was like, what the heck is... What is this? Is this fake?
Yes.
So all day long, I'm like, I like Jack Black enough. I think he's a character. It's great. I don't mind Lizzo so much. But I'm like, in my Star Wars, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then I abstained from social media all day long until about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night to watch this. Mm-hmm. And man, I was pumped. Yeah. Like, afterwards? Within the first minute, I was so excited. No, I was
while you were watching, you liked
the
so
whole
much?
thing.
Yeah.
I liked it that much.
I want to go back to what you said about you saw the clip and you thought it was fake. Yeah. They showed the first, I think, 7 minutes of next week's episode at Celebration. Wouldn't it be funny if people started making photos that were like deep fakes of other celebrities in it, and people would be like, "Oh, is that actually what's happening?
Oh my gosh!
How did they get Trump in there?" Yeah. I likewise need to stop looking at Twitter TikTok before I saw it, because I was spoiled with the clip of Ahmed Best returning. I thought that was just I thought that was from the game show or something. I didn't realize that was from the show. And then I saw Lizzo with Grogu, and I was like, oh, they let Grogu be in a music video? Like, that's what I first thought. I was like, oh, someone made, like, her music video has Grogu? Like, I don't know if I like that. But then, like, obviously it's from the episode, and they just cut it together. So I definitely need to stop. Because there's only 2 episodes left, right? Is that what Katie Sackhoff said? And she's like, I know what we shot, and there's a lot to go. So I need to
exciting.
Yeah. I thought this was a fun episode, sort of a standalone, but you had they had the stars. I liked seeing Christopher Lloyd. That's always good to see.
I enjoyed
him.
it. The Scooby-Doo mystery involved in it. It was good.
But he was a separatist, like Dooku. And I do think that's funny that there's this like through line of all, like, because I didn't pay attention. It's like, what are the separatists? Is this like the third party in Star Wars, like that no one really paid attention to, like between the Empire and the Rebels or whoever?
You've got like the separatists like were the main antagonists to the Republic in the Clone Wars. Okay. So if you watch the Clone Wars and enjoyed the prequels to a degree, you knew that the separatists removed themselves from the Republic because they saw that the Republic was corrupt and didn't have their best interests at heart. And then Dooku was the figurehead of all this, and nobody realized that he was also like a Dark Lord of the Sith. He was just this political idealist. So Christopher Lloyd's character sees him as this great, all-powerful, political being who had the right idea to separate from the Republic, that the Republic was corrupt, and that we should like either self-govern or take care of our own interests, and that was his mentality. So there's like all these like different like, and that's the political part, and that's the best part with the Bo-Katan's like politics, and she just like gets him like shrugs him off like with the electrode.
She doesn't care, yeah.
I don't care for those politics.
I know,
but I do.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I can't. My head doesn't wrap around it.
No,
like,
man,
I can't understand like real politics. Forget about space politics.
No, I like my space politics. That's fine. That's fine. I just realized that there's a Space Force Center in New Hampshire this past week. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, that still exists?
That's still a real thing. What are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They're in New Hampshire.
There you go. If they're in New Hampshire, they're everywhere.
Very true. But this episode was essentially just like a live action translation of the Clone Wars show.
Well,
so it had that goofy stuff and everything like that. I really appreciated it for that.
I was gonna say the Clone Wars and Rebels are going to be required viewing if you're going to truly appreciate Ahsoka, because man, all the friends from Rebels are showing up in live action.
What a teaser. That was great. That was good to see. Very exciting.
So
got my daughter on board. Chopper was there. Hera, Sabine Wren, Ahsoka. You got to see the back end of Thrawn's head. And then I think there was an extended trailer at Celebration where they leaked his face, and people were like,
they had the actor come out. Well, it just sort of looks like
and then the actor came
blue. Yeah,
right. He looks like a Smurf. That's fine.
They didn't add any like facial CGI or anything.
Sure, and it's from a cell phone.
They don't have the budget for that. Yeah.
It's it's the same guy taking cell phone pictures of Marvel Legend waves in China. They're like, let me throw some Vaseline on the front of this lens here, and then take a picture of Grand Admiral Thrawn.
That's how they used to do it back in the day with those Hollywood celebrities. They wanted to have that nice glowing look, so they're just trying to keep the tradition alive.
Well, there we go.
So Thrawn is being portrayed by the actor who did the voiceover, who did the voice acting in, was it Rebels?
Rebels.
Yeah. Oh. What do you think about that? You think that's a good choice?
I mean, I'm sure it's a great choice.
Okay.
As long as he can portray him physically.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes voice actors are not well known. Of course. On-screen actors.
Right.
For reasons.
But, of course. I mean, if he has the physical characteristics of the character, then of course. I mean, it's not like
Jim Cummings.
And that's the odd translation. It's like, okay, why didn't they just use Jason Isaacs, who voiced the Grand Inquisitor, as the Grand Inquisitor? They got whomever else, and then he looks nothing like the Grand Inquisitor for the Kenobi show.
Kenobi not getting a second season, according to Kathleen Kennedy. What do you think about that?
Oh. I don't mind it. He's out, and we know what he's been up to. He's just kind of out in the desert. It's fine.
They were going to really have to fabricate some more content to fill a whole second season.
Yeah, and they had to, because that was originally a movie, so it's like a lot of stuff was shoehorned into that show
to fill it out. Did you see that there somebody stitched together all the episodes to make a 2-hour movie of Kenobi?
Did see that.
And the guy got hired by Disney and Star Wars because they were so impressed with that.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's almost a dangerous precedent. It's like, go out there and start cutting some footage you don't own the rights to, kids.
Right. If you can immediately make Star Wars better, like the guy that did a better deep fake of the Mark Hamill, they hired him. It's like, if you can make Star Wars better, then you're hired at Lucasfilm. If you can somehow do it then better than us, then you're hired.
I mean, I guess that's good on them. Like, yeah, go get the best people if somebody's showing that they can do it better, go get them. Why not?
Well, let's get started on writing that Star Wars Beasts at the Zoo show, and then we'll pitch that.
I would like
and then
to
we'll get on board over there.
Man,
I keep thinking about it. I'm like, that's an excellent idea.
I was getting so many TikToks this week of wild animals eating other animals.
Oh, I can't stand those. Who's watching that stuff that is showing up on my feed?
Well, we share the same feed, so one of us was watching
Dramatic.
it. It was terrible. It was awful to see it.
I'm like, I'm always blaming you. I'm like, what the hell's Paul watching?
Yeah, I know. I had some weird stuff. Like TikTok was trying some new things on me this week to see what I would be into, and it was not that. Oh. I was not liking any of. I'm not sharing any of those clips.
I feel very sad after the fact.
It's just nature. That's
and I know
the kind
it's
of
just
stuff
nature.
We're gonna see a tauntaun eating a wampa. We're gonna see that in our show.
Okay.
We're gonna get Bill Hader to voice the wampa. That's what it sounds like.
As long as Al Pacino can be the wampa. No, is he the tauntaun? Who's the tauntaun?
What is that
he
from?
Can be the wampa.
The Critic?
I don't know. My hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
The Critic.
Back to Celebration. Lots of toys announced. Did anything stand out to you? Another Luke Jedi. Like another Luke Jedi
I didn't
from
see.
Jedi that doesn't look like Luke Skywalker at all. It's just, and it's got the single hinge elbows. I hate it. But
what'd you send me? You sent me the SH one?
Yes,
the SH Figure Arts
SH
one?
Figure Arts looks amazing. Amazing.
Just buy that.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's not going to cost much more. New R2-D2 with a weird neck extension gimmick.
Yeah, that's we haven't seen that yet. Like in any media.
You think we're gonna? I guess that makes sense. Like we're gonna see him do this because I assume that this is how his head pops out of the N1. Like his body drops down and then his
you sent me that cutaway of the N1 starfighter, and it was like the head just completely dismantles and like pops up.
Yeah, which is
and it was like that's not how I ever imagined that working.
No, is this a brand new mold of R2 or is this still the first?
It is.
For series
no,
1?
So they've retired that original mold that wasn't scaled correctly to the 1/12 scale there.
So this is going to be a tinier R2.
No, it's going to be larger.
Was he small? I thought he was too big.
I thought he was too small. He was too small.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to be a little bit larger.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Other stuff I don't care about. Is this an unmasked Darth Vader? Is this a 6-inch line one, or is this?
Yes.
Do we not have this? Do we not? Is this better?
We don't have a completely unmasked Darth Vader.
What was that first?
Probably.
Oh, just like the bottom part stayed on in that first one?
I would say it might have stayed on, or you could see the back of his head.
No, this is the same. It is the same.
What? Okay.
I think it's a new sculpt, but it's the same presentation, I think.
Does he have eyebrows?
The head does look a lot different. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't care enough to look it up, but
is it Anakin? Is it?
Well, that's what's funny to me is the 3-pack of the spirits, and man, what a smug Hayden Christensen portrait they sculpted. Like, my goodness, he's like, see, everything worked out okay. But then you still got that old Obi-Wan sculpt, just looking as haggard as ever.
They've already made Spirit Jedi. They all came out for Walmart exclusives, so this isn't that
in the
exciting
6-inch
reveal. Yes, in the 6-inch.
No, all of them?
100%, yes.
I do sort of remember that. Was that very early on in the Black Series?
No. This was at least, at earliest maybe 2-3 years ago when the last one kindly came out.
Because I remember Yoda, but his. Okay, but it was not well done.
No, they weren't well done. It's
not translucent at all, the figure. I don't even know what.
It's got that shimmer. It's got a shimmer to it.
Yeah, this is terrible. At least these ones are they sell it a little bit, but still not great. I
don't know. I never liked the Force Ghost. I wish they would do something different with the Force Ghost projections in the TV shows and the movies. I wish they were more ethereal and in the air, and not solid. I'm just a character.
Well, they didn't have the technology back then, so they can't completely reinvent.
You look at Rise of Skywalker, and Yoda just shows up, and it's like, this is just a puppet here, and he's just colored differently, and then Luke shows up and grabs the lightsaber after Rey tosses it into the downed X-wing. But it's like, you're just like a person standing here. Why don't you have like a glow? Why are your feet? I don't know. I'd rather just see them more ghostly than
I think they.
Fleshed out.
They were a little translucent. You could see through them because I don't think they weren't like shot right next to it. I think it was like a different shot, and then the effects were changed. But I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. Do you think that Luke is going to appear as a ghost in episode 10? Like, do you think Mark Hamill is going to have... I mean, no, you need it, right? You got to have more Luke. If you have the opportunity, I feel like this movie is all about fixing the problems. I feel like everything they're making right now is about fixing the problems
it's like
created by the sequel. So yes, 100% Mark Hamill is going to be part of this movie, one way or the other.
She's going to go pull him out of the world between worlds and be like...
Go.
Stop doing what you're doing. It means nothing.
No, he can be a ghost. That's fine. Just like Obi-Wan was always popping up being like, Luke, I have more to tell you. Oh, do I have a sibling? Oh, I can't tell you that yet. Hold on.
I'm so sleepy.
A little bit lady.
Take a nap. I'm tired of doing this.
I know. I want to see what the other... Do we ever see what it looks like when they're not spirits? Like the world they're in? There's a great TikTok. There's a great TikTok where all the dead characters are sitting around watching TV.
Oh, they're just on a couch watching things.
And then the guy does a deep fake of them, and he does a great impression. Yes. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
That is good. What do we got? We got 2 flavors of chrysanthemum coming out, both Black Series and Vintage Collection.
Thick boy looks good.
Yes, sexy Wookiee.
Damn.
They don't call him Black Chrysanthemum. They call him just chrysanthemum now.
Well, listen, we got to be sensitive.
It's like, okay.
Nobody commented on my brown He-Man comment last week. See, we skated by.
That's fine. Nobody really commented on me throwing shade on the half-helmeted Mandalorian, and I'm thankful for that. So
somebody called you out.
Who?
Well, that just the guy that it was a special needs
that one guy. But like I'm sitting there being like, oh no, this is the Captain America all over again.
Oh my god, don't even bring that up.
Different thing.
That was a different show. It was a different time. That was 10,000 followers ago.
Hey, we're so close.
We are less than 100 by the time you listen to this. It's entirely possible that we have reached 10,000 TikTok. And TikTok has now been banned in my place of business. So,
oh wow,
I have to use cellular, and that was the workaround. That's all that has to happen.
Oh no,
yeah, that's fine though. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
In other disappointing news, if you were one of the people who backed the 9-to-5 Warriors, not all of the figures reach the minimum required to move forward, but we are getting Major Eraser, Colonel Custard, Tech Sergeant Scotchy, and Commodore Crisps, and that means we're not getting Lieutenant Lead, Corporal Can, Brigadier Bouncy, the meatball that is actually rubber bands.
The rubber band ball, okay, yep.
And then
the purple rubber band ball.
Specialist Sugar did not make it. Sergeant Spore didn't make it. Is that? Oh, Sergeant Spore didn't make it either. The sandwich. That's number 2.
That is odd.
Number 2, the pencil didn't make it.
Okay.
So only the 4, which honestly, I think this makes more sense for the line because these are like hardier figures. I think this is a good way to start it. And then if these do well, there's no reason you couldn't introduce Spore figures. But I think,
of course, I didn't even think of that.
I think there is the sense that people wanted these to be more in line with those food fighters, so they supported the figures that were more reminiscent of those. So you got to go where the money, like just like Hasbro bringing packaging back, you got to follow the money. The people speak with their money, speak with their wallet, and the people have spoken on 9-to-5 Warriors. So we're going to get 4 figures, which is a fine first series. I think that's perfectly fine.
Sure. You don't need 8 figures. You can start with 4.
You don't need 8 figures. Because these are, I mean, you know, these small company figures are expensive. Like they're not, you can't go out to Dollar General or Dollar Tree and buy these. It's not like, what's that Dollar Tree exclusive line?
Oh, Final Faction. Yeah.
These aren't all Final Faction. You got to go and pay $30-$40 plus shipping and tax and all that fun stuff to get these. So
Can't wait for Ollie's to get them for $3.99 like those Ghostbuster figures.
Have you seen them yet? No, you probably haven't.
Not yet.
Made it out. I saw somebody that had a whole bag full. I was over there today. I really should have stopped. But then, like, I already have 3 full sets.
Yeah, I don't need them. I'm like
the original retail for. I don't need more.
I would just see these and be like, damn it! If only I had known 2 years ago, I would have been like,
you've had them for 2 years. Like you paid, with inflation, you paid the equivalent of $4.
You're right.
Because like
probably
that,
right.
Yeah. But
it's okay.
I do wonder if I saw them, I would just be like, why not? $4, can't pass that up.
Yeah.
I saw they have the ghost too. They have the eye popper ghost.
Right, in the toilet.
Oh, do they have the fearsome flush? I think I do need to get. I don't know if I have that. I think I might have the eye popper ghost, but the bottom of the plastic is cracked, so I might need to get like a mint one.
Oh, okay.
If they had Slimer and Stay Puft, I would buy several more of those. Because those are just, you can't go wrong. You could do anything with those.
A lot of fun.
Put it on your car
I'd buy
antenna.
a set and then just hold on to them and donate them for Toys for Tots next year. I'd just do something like that.
I really want to do like a shadow box presentation or something, like very nice, like very fancy. Okay. But with the set that says, "We ain't afraid of no ghost," or "Who you gonna call," or whatever the text is that got removed. Yeah. And those are not the ones at Ollie's do not say that, as far as I'm aware. No.
Right. It's the second run.
Super 7 announced some more G.I. Joes for their Ultimates line.
Yeah.
The one thing...
Zartan.
Yeah. The most interesting thing that they're doing this time is if you order directly through Super 7, you're going to get a special thank you gift that you can't get any other way. And it's a blister pack that has extra weapons in it.
Oh, okay. That's what
like
you showed me.
A few, like, they're just different, like, guns and then, like, a backpack and a walkie-talkie. Now, I think this is very smart on Super 7's behalf. Because I never understood why you would pre-order from Super 7 direct, because they charge you immediately, and then it's a year at least you're waiting. Whereas if you order from Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store, they don't charge you until it ships. And it's like, why do you want to like have those funds gone? It never made sense to me. But if you're getting something exclusive, I can kind of see then why people do that. So it'll be interesting to see if they do this with any of their other sets: Turtles, Power Rangers, SpongeBob, whatever else they're making right now. These are not my cup of tea. I've had the opportunity to order Series 1. I've passed. I've seen the pictures. People seem to like them. They just don't. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I understand they're based on the cartoon, but then like I just don't like the articulation, I guess. Like, they don't seem like they'd be as much fun to pose. I don't know. Not for me, but they are for other people.
I'm dedicated to the classified line.
Well, that's the thing too. If you have a line like the classified line that is, the perfect action figure. What did I used to call it something, I can't think of it now, but it's like, this is what you think of when you think of like an action figure. Like, this exists. Why do I need to pay more for something that's not as good in the ways I want it to be good? But that's okay. That is what that is. So since we last spoke, the WrestleMania happened, Night 2 of WrestleMania, and the WWE has merged or been sold, however you want to look at it. There's a new owner, and it is the guy that owns the company that also owns UFC, and that is really all I know. But I think even more than that, Vince is now in control of creative again, because if you remember earlier in the story, Vince was pushed out and his daughter took over, and then Vince like just stormed back, and then his daughter quit, and now he sold his company, but now he's been installed as something that allows him to be there. So like all of those, misdevious, or like all of the things that he did where he had to pay money to people to not talk about them, that seems to have been swept under the rug somehow. I'm not sure how that was allowed to happen, but he's back in control, ruining WWE programming. Everybody is very upset that enjoyed the last 6 months of Triple H in control, and Vince just came back and ruined it all. So good time for AEW to step up, because it's just, oh man, wrestling is a soap opera, and like real life soap opera. But again, I've said this before, when the stuff behind the scenes is more entertaining than the stuff in front of the camera, you have a problem. So they have a problem right now, and we'll see where things go. I sent you this
Shane
picture.
McMahon's ankle okay?
Jesus Christ. It was his knee. Or no, it was his...
Oh, his knee?
It was his quad? It was whatever happened in that famous clip where Vince slides into the ring and he blows out both of his quads or something. And then he just has to sit on the ring. But it was supposed to be this big spot in the Royal Rumble where he's like telling off the ref. It's like, really, that injury runs in the family. That was such a weird moment. Night 2 was such a disaster compared to Night 1. Night 1 went off without a hitch. Everyone was very excited about the card, the results. And then you have Night 2. Obviously, you have that big injury. And then you have Roman going over Cody, which seemed to piss off the internet. Like, I was legitimately like, this is disappointing. Like, I was ready to be excited and like, what a great moment this was going to be. And then it just doesn't happen. And like, everyone just sort of felt dejected and was like, oh, it's like the equivalent of if your favorite sports team makes it to the Super Bowl, the World Series, and then they don't win. You're like, oh, I guess I still just have to live my life, and I just have that little bit less joy than I was expecting.
It's like, so I'll be the first to tell you, I don't really watch or follow wrestling at all, but like, and this is going to be the stupidest, it's like WrestleMania, like one of those things where it's like, who's going to show up?
No, you don't know. You know the card.
You do?
Because that's how they promote it.
It's Snooki was Snooki there?
Not this year. No, she's not.
Not this. Okay.
In the past.
In the previous years?
When
so
she
I
was like
the
a big
previous
star.
clip.
Yeah, when she was a big star.
Okay. I saw a
she
clip
had
and
a
I was
match
like,
at
what?
one point. That was years ago.
Yeah.
This year it was Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg showed up, which I thought he had involvement with the WWE at one point or another. Anyway,
he's always been around, and Sasha Banks is his niece, even though she's not part of the company right now. Yeah, he's always been involved. Yeah. He actually saved the day because he was involved in that moment with Shane McMahon and The Miz, and he ended up coming in and punching Miz and doing a people's elbow, which saved the segment, because otherwise they're just out there and Shane can't walk. It just ends awkwardly. But it was not, Night 2 was not a winner compared to Night 1.
Okay.
But that's okay. I showed you this. Have you been to McDonald's since the new promotion started?
Oh shoot! I left mine upstairs. Yeah, we went the other night.
The Happy Meal promotion this month is The Masked Singer from Fox.
Yes.
You know that Fox TV show with Rudy Giuliani was one of the revealed singers.
They
what a weird
puppets.
Has there been a weirder promotion, like property that McDonald's has done a Happy Meal with than that? Like that's very strange.
Out there.
It's like, it's primetime television. It's not a kid's show. I mean, it's a singing show, so I guess it's like family entertainment. But like some of the people they've had on there, it's like not for kids.
Sure. It's like if they were like, oh, you know what would be great? Let's do a Dancing with the Stars Happy Meal.
Yes.
It's kind of along those lines.
It is along those lines.
Or like Survivor. Exactly. Something weird like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Or Batman Returns. Like something off the wall.
Right.
But I guess at least the characters were like, big, goofy-looking monsters and aliens and stuff. So, like, my son has 3 of them now, and he's like, I can't wait to collect them all. And he has no idea what this show is.
My daughter immediately hated it and was like, I really don't want this. Like, she's kind of like growing out of stuff like faster than we can allow her to. But she got it. She got the little raccoon, and I was in the impression that like somehow you could take off the mask, and there would be something under there, and it's just like a little, it's a pillowcase.
It's
just
like, a pillow, yeah.
The big kind of, it's like a blind bag, and there's like a riddle on the front of the bag. So she got the raccoon, and the riddle was like, I'm wearing a mask. I wear a mask in real life, or something like that. And you're like, oh, it's a raccoon, and she's like, I don't like this. I don't like this thing. She's like, raccoons don't wear masks, and I'm like, yeah, they kind of like look like they're like they're like a bandit, a bank robber, like the Riddler from the old Batman Adam West show. That's what you got to look at, Eloise.
Yeah. Yeah, but Eloise. Yeah, young daughter. You know that old 66 Batman cartoon?
Oh, she watches
Or not
it.
Cartoon, live action.
That's her favorite show.
She watches that?
Oh,
is that her favorite show?
Yeah. One of them.
Funny. Where do you even watch that?
Amazon has all 3 seasons.
I don't remember. So when Nick at Night first started, and they actually showed like Mary Tyler Moore and Dick Van Dyke, they showed the Superman, the black and white Superman show.
Yeah.
And that is the only version of Superman I enjoy.
Oh.
Because it was so old, it was believable that all the things would happen.
Yeah.
And I think I liked, but it wasn't goofy like the Batman show was. It was
Right.
more played serious. The Batman Adam West show was obviously very goofy. That was the intention of it. I think I liked it fine, but now I don't know how I feel about it. I want to know the evolution of the Batman character. Was he serious in the comics yet, or was that a reaction to this over the top silliness from the show?
I think it was a choice. I don't think he was as dark. I think the 70s and 80s kind of shifted him to that Dark Knight nihilistic role, especially the 80s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They really, but prior to that, he was just like any other comic superhero, where it's oh, you better be careful, I'll slug you.
And then he poses for the camera. All right. Well, that's fine then. Yeah. So my point in bringing up the Happy Meal is, did McDonald's announce that they're not doing plastic Happy Meal toys anymore? Because they're not.
We've heard this.
But
is this the second round?
Have you seen the recent Happy Meal toys? They're books and they're weird things, but there's no actual toys anymore.
Okay, so are we at that point? Because I know, a couple years ago they were we have it on record saying that this is the end. That they've announced that they're going to be plastic free.
Did they? So that's what I missed.
We have it.
Did they actually? We have it. Okay. When was that?
I mean, I think this was early on in our podcast, probably in 2019, prior to the world shutting down. And then they were oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But shoot. I don't know. What the hell was the last
Hasbro.
plastic
They'll go
thing?
back on it.
Of course.
Well, they were doing all of the Marvel not bobblehead figures.
They were doing those.
So are they going to stop those? I guess we didn't see one for Guardians, so maybe.
Oh my God! Could you?
Well, I guess that would be out next. If that doesn't happen, then we know they're definitely done with plastic.
Just a world full of everyone's house is just full of these tiny, stupid little pillow.
They're much easier to throw away, I think.
They are. I have
they compress.
No desire for
you can throw away so many of them.
I'm
they're trash.
And the worst was I got the Happy Meal because I was pressed for time, and I'm never want to get a Happy Meal because it's I can make nuggets at home or I can do this at home. It's easy enough. So I was pressed for time. I could probably if I tried, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll get 2, and I wound up getting the same stupid Stuffy.
Oh no!
It wasn't a different. It's what the hell, guys? I know it's completely random because it's a purple stupid package that you can't see through. But at the same time, it's
you gotta mix them up with your hands or something.
Yeah, just jostle the box.
I love the TikTok account that shows you the Happy Meal toys for the year.
Oh yes, from the past.
It's oh, that year was good. There was a year that had Rescue Rangers and
the Happy Meal
Fry
toys
Guys.
From 1993. It's
damn, there were some good years. And then there were some I have no memory of. And I was oh, right? What? I don't even... Was this in America?
It's such a seismic regional? Shift. It was like the Batman animated series was such a top tier Happy Meal toy. And then you were oh wait, what the hell was this? And then every year has Barbie and Hot Wheels. That's when you know. That's when you know if they've gone plastic free too. Is if they don't do Barbie and Hot Wheels.
Have we seen Hot Wheels in recent years? I feel that's...
Fabric Hot Wheels.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they will do some sort of coloring book for Hot Wheels or something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's even worse. It's the piece of paper, the poster. I think someone on TikTok was what the hell are you giving my 3-year-old? And she unfurled this giant McDonald's poster. It was probably 2 feet by 3 feet. They're just give me a goddamn toy.
I got that for the Teen Titans.
Just give me a goddamn toy.
Well, we talked about this in one of our episodes. The kid opens in the car, and then it's like you block your vision. You can't see where anything we're going. Like, what the hell did you
give me? A road map? Come on.
That's exactly what we said. We've reached the point of the show where we're retelling the same stories.
Oh my god! No.
Time to end it. Sorry, guys. We've run out of stuff.
Couldn't even make it to 200 episodes.
So close, though. We got there so close. We had a really nice comment on Apple Podcasts this week. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick.
Yeah. Close out the episode with this.
Yeah, this is nice. I feel like if somebody makes a nice comment, we need to
You've promised this. This is a promissory thing. Whether good or bad, you are reading every Apple Podcast review of.
Well, if it was bad, I would definitely read it because those are delightful.
Sure.
All right, let's see it. Is this it? I thought it was longer.
It wasn't that long.
All right, this is from Jim Bagtaz. Love these guys. Such great content and overall wit and banter. I look forward to each week's episode. Never disappointing. Well, that is a lot to live up to, Jim. I hope you weren't disappointed this week. We did our best. We always try to do our best. I mean,
even though we're retreading the same story over and over.
I know, even though we've run out of stories. People that are listening now, there's a very good chance they weren't listening back episode 1 through 100.
Oh my God! Please go back and listen to episode 1 through 100 and see how we've evolved.
Well, okay, for that sake, yes, do go listen to those first episodes. The audio quality has gotten much better.
Sure.
At least we can say that.
Yes, the video quality, the overall tone of the show and our interactions, they're not as forced. Yeah.
We're not living in a pandemic, so we're not as stressed. You can hear it in our voices, a little bit less stressed. Maybe not, maybe more. I don't know. Anything else for this big week, Bill?
No, this was a big one. I don't think we could fit it in one episode, but whatever. There's other things for that. No, we're not going to split anything. Next week's a new week.
New week, new stuff to talk about. Yes. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.